Hey lovely, welcome to the Lovely Home Podcast, where I, your host Evelyn, will help you refocus on feeling grace over guilt in your mind, life, and home. Are you tired of feeling like you're not doing enough? Do you wish you could have healthy routines and rhythms? Do you crave a clean and lovely home? Well, that's what I'm here for. We'll discuss how you can feel lovely with Christ as your foundation and how you can practically create rhythms that work for your body, your mind, and your home. I'm a wife, sister in Christ, homemaker, and the creator of the Lovely Home Planner. And God has called me to encourage women, point them back to Christ, and go about your home in a unique to you way. Are you ready? Grab your Lovely Home Planner or a journal, a pen, and something to sip on, and let's chat about all things lovely. On today's episode of the Lovely Home Podcast, you and I are going to be discussing establishing your place of peace within your home. This is something I care very passionately about, and it's also something that I've brought up, here and there on the podcast recently. I have done an entire episode on it before, but it was back when I started the show, and I feel like there's been a lot of growth in how I record and how I actually explain things, and so we're going to go again and discuss again what a place of peace is. And also, I'm sure you don't really care why I'm doing it. You probably just care about what it is and how you can have it in your home. So I'll stop rambling. Anyways, your place of peace is a spot in your home where you can go to and you can just breathe. You pause. You feel at peace. You are focused on pouring into yourself. And you're focused and pouring into the identity that God has given you before anything that happened in the world. So like before you got married and became a wife and you added that to your little resume of life, or before you had kids and you became a mom and before you added that to your resume. Like, who are you and who did God create you to be before any of those things came into the picture? God has created such a beautiful piece of art, and he, as the potter, has formed just the most unique clay pot, and that's you. And every single person that God designs is 100% unique, and that is so powerful when you actually sit back and think about how God has created every single soul in this world, whether they know him or not, and they have given them a 100% unique personality. That is just mind-blowing. And I mean, who needs if you are needing proof of God, just know that. And just know that God is a loving God who gave beautiful and unique personalities to every single soul that enters this world. It's insane. And also, he gives unique personalities to animals. It's phenomenal. God is just so beautiful, and his creative brain is, so inspiring and just awesome. But anyways, so your place of peace is where you go to dive in and pour into the person that God has designed you to be. Not necessarily where you go to do weekly budget meetings with your spouse or homeschool planning for your kids or, just anything like that. Like, you don't want to do hard work there. You don't want to do stressful tasks there. This is where you go to only do things that make you feel like the beautiful person you are and to do things that are lovely to you. So I have an acronym that I am going to share with you guys, and it is my PEACE acronym. It's how you can find your place of peace within your home. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to walk around your home, and I want you to just take notice in the places that you naturally gravitate towards. Like, what is a place in your home that is just absolutely stunning to you, or you feel like you can truly relax there, or just makes you feel really lovely? Like, what is a place in your room or in your home? It could be a place in your room. It could be a corner. It could be a certain spot on your couch. It could be a very specific chair that you have. Like, what is your place of peace? Personally, for me, my place of peace And this is something that I have only just now realized recently since moving into my new house, is my piano. Like my piano bench, I will naturally just go and sit at my piano bench. And usually it's whenever I'm feeling stressed, I will go and I'll sit down and I'll scroll. Like I won't even play piano, but I'll just start scrolling. And now I know, okay, my body naturally goes to my piano bench and my piano because it knows that what I do at that piano brings me peace, brings me escape, and is just a very lovely place for my mind, my body, and my soul. So yes, I want you to look around and ask yourself, where in my home do I naturally gravitate towards? So yes, once you kind of have that little question answered, then you will be able to know. So once you think you have found the spot in your home that could be your place of peace, I want you to ask if it is personal, empowering, addictive, comfortable, and effective. If you answer yes to all of those, then congratulations, you have found your place of peace. If not, what can you do to that space to make it feel more lovely to you and your season? So let's go ahead and dive into those a little more closely. So P stands for personal. This means that this space in your home is yours and yours alone. It is not a place that you share with your children. It's not a place that you share with your husband. They are welcome there. Like, I'm not saying they're not allowed there, but it is not a space where they will go to sit and do things themselves. Like, this is your spot, and I think it needs to be communicated to the whole home that this is your spot. Not in a weird way, but I think about how for years, everyone had very specific places to sit at a dinner table, right? And how mom always had a spot at the dinner table. Dad always had a spot at the dinner table. And maybe that wasn't the case for you. But growing up, that was definitely the case for me. And it was definitely the case for my grandparents on my dad's side. I don't know if there's a reason to that. And honestly, this is just me thinking off the top of my head. But I'm curious if those places were established with or without knowing that those places provided peace to that specific person. Does that make sense? I wonder if my mom naturally sat there in that chair and just felt like a release on her shoulders because it was just a place of peace. And it was next to her husband, who was the leader of her home. And she had just made this dinner for all of her children that she loves very much. Everyone she loves is right around her. And I just wonder, if a place of peace has been something that people have done for years, but it's just never really been talked about this deeply. But anyways, let's get back on track, shall we? So yes, P, personal. It's yours and yours alone. The next thing is E, empowering. This means that you feel confident there and you feel completely whole. So you feel yourself, you feel lovely, and you feel like a beautiful child of God in this space. How can you feel empowering in this space? Maybe just the space as is doesn't help you feel that way. It's not necessarily the space itself, it's what you choose to do in that space. So if you put a throw blanket there or a pretty decorative pillow, or something that I have decided to do this year is to always have a vase of flowers by my place of peace. So I'll have a vase of flowers on my piano as much as I possibly can, because that is something that is lovely and makes me feel empowered at my place of peace. So how can you do that? Make a little list of different ways that you can make your place of peace more empowering to you. And you will also do things there that make you feel empowered and make you feel more lovely. We'll get into that a little bit later in this episode. But yes, E is for empowering. A is for addictive. You want to constantly come back here. And whether you intentionally go there or not, like that's something that you need to not necessarily track, but just be aware of. Like, how many times do you go there unintentionally? Because that may be a sign that you need to breathe and you may need to sit in your place of peace for a little bit. And then also, how many times do you go there intentionally to actually pour into yourself? So A is for addictive. You want to come back here again and again and again. When I moved into this new house, I didn't have a place of peace because my old place of peace was a window seat that quite literally was built into the home, and we couldn't take it with us, and that was heartbreaking because I, to this day, still miss that window seat so much. Can you hold on for 1 second? I need to go get some water. You can probably hear it in my voice. Like, I'm parched, so give me just 1 minute. Okay. Oh, that is so much better. So yes, at my old house, my place of peace was a window seat, and we could not take it with us when we moved, and that was absolutely heartbreaking. But so when we moved here, I was like, I need to figure out a new place of peace. So I tried making my own window seat in our bedroom. It did not work. I constantly was just filling it with clothes. I didn't go there naturally. It was forced and not actually peaceful. So it was just a waste of time. Yes. So then I moved it to the couch. But then I really wanted to do work at the couch. Like, I wanted to have my laptop open and to pour into my business on my couch. So that is my place of peace for my business, which, by the way, if you're a business owner, I suggest that you have both. Have a place of peace for your business and have a place of peace for your personal life. And learn how to separate the two. Create the habit of distinguishing the two spots and being intentional to keep work in the work spot and keeping personal in the personal spot. I am a heavy believer of that. Okay. Anyways, so that was a more natural place for me to go to for my business, which then made me really not want to go there for my personal things. So I really this whole last year, I didn't really have a place of peace, and my goodness, it showed. It showed. Like, my golly, without my place of peace, last year I had one of the most stressful years, and you wouldn't know it because I never really talked about it on the podcast, but I was overwhelmed in all areas. Like, I'm just going to be really real with you guys. I was really overwhelmed in my business. I was really overwhelmed in my home. And I was just the only thing that was really keeping me okay was Jesus and my lovely rhythms and my husband, honestly. But yes, so not having a place of peace for me to go to and pour into myself, I feel like I lost myself because I didn't have a place for me to go to intentionally pour into myself without leaving my house and going to like a coffee shop and doing it there, which you can do, but let's be real, that's expensive. And sometimes it doesn't work with our seasons of life. So having a place at home that feels like that little dopamine hit that you get whenever you go to a coffee shop is chef's kiss. Yes. So anyways, so now I have my piano, and I recognize that last year my brain was telling me, pick your piano, make your piano your place of peace. But it never even hit me. Like, it never, I thought it had to be like a chair or a couch or a corner. I didn't think about how it literally could be my piano. So yes, that's going to be my place of peace for my personal life. And my business place of peace is the spot on my couch that I love very much. Moving on now, shall we? Let's move on to the next letter, which is C. Comfortable. You want this place to be easy, safe, and comfy. Now, how can you make this more comfy? Let's think about my example of using my piano bench. Obviously, it's a wooden bench. Wooden benches aren't very comfortable. If I'm wanting to be there for a long amount of time, I should probably invest in a piano bench cushion, or I can invest in a pillow for me to sit on. Y'all are gonna think I'm crazy. I love to sit on the floor, okay? There's something therapeutic about sitting on the floor. But I can invest in a pillow for me to sit on, and then I can keep that pillow on the couch because my couch is right next to the piano. And then if I'm wanting to like use the piano bench as a table, which I have done that before a lot, and y'all are probably thinking I'm weird, I can get that pillow off the couch and sit on it. Are y'all still with me? So that's just, I'm like a real life example of me trying to figure out how I can make my place of peace a little more comfortable and easy. So it's easy because the pillow is right there, serving a double purpose, being a cute functional pillow on the couch, and also being a cute comfy pillow I can sit on when I'm using my place of peace and I need a place to sit on the floor if I want to use my bench as a table. Anyways, that is easy and it's comfy and I feel safe. I feel so safe at my piano because I say it all the time. My piano is my therapist. Y'all have heard me say that. My piano has been my place of peace for a lot longer than I think I've allowed myself to think. So this is fun. We're enjoying this. All right, moving on to the letter E, effective. Your place of peace needs to be effective. You need to pour into yourself here. You need to do the things that make you feel lovely. So this space needs to be able to support all the lovely things that you enjoy doing that makes you feel like the beautiful person that you are. Now, I wouldn't say this has, not everything, because there's so much that we love doing, right? Like something that I love doing is baking. I can't bake at my piano, but you know what I can do? I can sit at my piano while something is rising in the kitchen. So it's still effective. Though I'm not baking at my piano, I can still involve it in with my process of pouring into myself and doing something lovely. If there's something else that you enjoy doing that's lovely that you can't do at your piano, like another thing I love doing is going on a walk. I really enjoy going on walks. And obviously, I can't do that at my piano. That would be kind of crazy if I just took my piano with me on a walk. So you will find that there are things that you find lovely that you won't always do there. Your place of peace is mainly for the things that you can do while sitting down and just escaping and resting. Building a moment of rest into your day, into your week, and into your month is so important. My word for the year, I'm committing. I'm saying it took me, what's the date? It took me 22 days to actually commit to this. But my word for the year is Sabbath. Sabbath. And I will be practicing the Sabbath in my place of peace. And I will also be preparing for the Sabbath in my place of peace. You might be wondering what that means. I created the rhythm of weekly planning in my planner every single Saturday because I'm wanting to start my next week already on a roll. So I don't want to walk into Monday, be forced into a roll, and then have no idea what I'm having for dinner or what's going on that week or what my goals are. I don't want that. I do not enjoy that way of living. It's chaotic and it's overwhelming and it's overstimulating in a way. And so I have decided to weekly plan for my business and for my personal life every Saturday. And it's part of my Sabbath rhythm. And I will weekly plan in my place of peace. I will sit down at my piano bench. I will open up my planner. I'll have all my markers and I will just plan out my week and I'll set my goals and I'll meal plan and I will do all the things that help me feel more at peace about what's to come. And that is a way that I am preparing for the Sabbath in my place of peace by weekly planning there. I love making it just this beautiful act of worship. Your place of peace is able to also serve as your sanctuary. Getting to meet with the Lord there, He is the giver of peace. He is the designer of peace, and He gives us peace that surpasses our understanding. And how beautiful would it be for us to receive that peace in a place in our home where we feel, the most at peace. So I want you to do something right now. Right now. if you are able and your season allows, I want you to go and grab a notebook, and I want you to grab a pen. And honestly, if you have the Lovely Home Planner, you should use the extra notes page that's in the home portion of the Lovely Home course, like the workbook that's at the front of the planner. The whole home portion has an extra notes page. I want you to write out on that notes page, what specifically your place of peace is. And then I want you to write a little box, and I want you to write out your lovely bank. If you are driving or if you are not able to write down at the moment, then I want you to create a voice memo for yourself. Or if you are able to write it out in your notes app. But I would prefer you to do a voice memo, because I feel like doing voice memos to yourself is more impactful than just writing it down, because let's be real, all of our notes apps are just filled with chaos, and we usually avoid them because they are insanity. If you're anything like me, which if you're listening to this podcast, then there's a pretty good chance you're a lot like me. Hi, that's cool. We should meet. You should book a Lovely Rhythms call so we can have one-on-one coaching and chat with one another. But if you create a voice memo, I want you to create a little lovely bank through your voice memos that you can go back and listen to and maybe jot down in a journal later. So your lovely bank, what is that? Your lovely bank is just a list of things that are lovely to you, like anything and everything. This is a beautiful time for you to get to know yourself, for you to recall memories from when you were a little girl, and for you to just recognize who God has designed you to be. Your lovely blank can have hobbies. It can have spiritual things that you enjoy doing. It can have really random tidbits that you like. Like something that's in my lovely bank is eat a Pop-Tart. I talk about this on my coaching calls with people, and I've also talked about it on the podcast before. But so a Pop-Tart is lovely to me. Not because of the taste. Like the taste honestly is pretty meh. Let's be real. It's not that great. But the backside of a Pop-Tart has little imprints on it that I find so lovely. Actually, the whole look of a Pop-Tart is really pretty to me. I love the pretty pastry little holes on the front, and I like the little fork edging things on the sides. But on the backside of the Pop-Tart are little imprints from the conveyor belt that it traveled on when it was first made. And so when you look at the back of the Pop-Tart and you see all these little lines and squiggles and stuff, like that's the print from the conveyor belt. And I don't know why, but ever since I was a little girl, like the first time I looked at a Pop-Tart, I just was obsessed with how it looked and just everything about it. And it's so lovely to me. And that is such a weird thing. I recognize that. But it's something that God imprinted in me and like destined for me to love. Whenever he was creating me, he knew before I was even in my mother's womb, he knew that I would love the way the back of a Pop-Tart looked. And that is so lovely. It's so lovely. So have a lovely bank. And I want you to just write out as much or as little as you want about things that you love about yourself and things that you love doing and little random things about yourself that are just beautiful. I want you to think of childhood shows that you really enjoyed watching. Why did you enjoy it? What in those shows captivated your mind and attention that made you just want to come back again and again? Is there a way that you can incorporate something from those shows into your daily life? Or do you want to start decorating your home like some of those shows? Creating a lovely home is creating a home that is absolutely unique to you and who God has designed you to be. And the beautiful thing, if you are married, you are able to design a home that accurately describes you and your husband both, because he has lovely things that he loves too. I also want you to think of games you used to play when you were little, like when no one was around and it was just you playing and you were just playing with your imagination. What did you play? Like, what did you naturally want to play? because that's lovely too. And that's something that little you could not wait to do when you grew up. I played dollhouse all the time. I played make-believe house all the time. I played husband and wife all the time. Like, I wouldn't have a husband, but little me, like, created him out of my imagination. And I would be married, and I would be a mom, and I would, I would play Office a lot. Like, I loved playing Office. But those games that you played when you were little is just like a little teaser of what God knew you would have when you grew up. Like, we played restaurant. I mean, I don't know how many times. And how many times do you get to actually, like, cook? You know? Like, you used to play cooking all the time when you were little, and now you actually get to cook. That's the other thing. You get to live the lives little you dreamt of and could not wait to live out. This is a little random, but I just remembering that and remembering what little you always wanted, and now you get to actually have it. And it's so lovely. That's a lovely thing to me. So yes, create a lovely bank for you to go to whenever you are intentionally wanting to spend time in your place of peace. You can pull something from your lovely bank and voila, you can do that thing. I do this every week. Every Saturday, I will write out a new lovely bank, and I will try to focus on things in that lovely bank for me to do during the week. I also have a whole lovely notebook. Like, my lovely notebook has anything and everything that's lovely to me. And so if I can't think of anything just off the top of my head, I will go to that lovely book. And also, if I'm ever in a season, which usually happens at least once a month, where I'm feeling more insecure about myself and like more concerned about how people view me or think of me, reading through that lovely notebook can be very helpful, because I'm able to look and see, look, God designed you. God designed you to love all these things. And you are a beautiful human being that is 100,000% unique. And all of these little lovely things belong to you. So yes, that is my little tip there. So let's go ahead and go through just what the acronym was for peace. P stands for personal. E stands for empowering. A stands for addictive. C stands for comfortable. And E stands for effective. Only you can make your place of peace. And only you can make the rules for your place of peace. If you want it to be a place for just yourself, you'll have to communicate and uphold that boundary with the rest of your household. Decide the rules you want and stick to them. Hold yourself accountable, and if need be, schedule time for you to spend here in your place of peace. Your place of peace is your retreatment. Here is where you go to escape and then recharge. It's where you can physically go to extend yourself grace and pour into yourself. I want to close out today's episode by reading you my absolute favorite chapter from the Bible. I hope that's okay that I'm reading an entire chapter. It's worth it, I promise. I'm pulling it up, so that's why I'm still talking instead of reading. But it is Psalms 139. I love this chapter so much because it just shows me how we are supposed to be talking about ourselves and how we are supposed to just remember that God is the designer of who we are. And it's written by David, and it was written after David had the whole scandal with Bathsheba happen. And that to me is even more beautiful, because that just shows that even David found forgiveness for himself and found grace for himself to be able to talk about himself the way that he does in this chapter. So let's go ahead and read that. Psalms 139, this is NIV. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light becomes night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you. When I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I am still with you. If only you, God, would slay down the wicked. Away from me, you who are bloodthirsty. They speak of you with evil intent. Your adversaries misuse your name. Do I not hate those who hate you, Lord, and abhor those who are in rebellion against you? I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them my enemies. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way of everlasting. I love that chapter so much. There are so many golden nuggets in that chapter. And this is something that I just realized this time reading it. And side note, bookmark, God, holy cow. The way that we can read his word and find something new about it every single time we open it up is just, again, miraculous. Miraculous. Like, if you just need to know something to prove that God exists, like, that's it right there. Like, holy cow. Just knowing that anytime you open his word, you can find something new. What other author can do that? Anyways. So, but something I noticed this time around was the whole verses 19 to 22, where he's kind of like, away from me who are bloodthirsty. Like, if only God would slay the wicked. Don't I hate those that hate you? Like, that is almost like he's journaling, right? Like, David is journaling. He's saying these beautiful, poetic, grace-filled, soft words. And then all of a sudden his anxiety hits. And he's like, like, God, like, I slay the wicked. Like, he turns into this human that is dealing with human emotions, that has a problem with anxiety and has a problem with man's opinion and judgment. And then it's almost like the Spirit just pulls him back right then and there, because the next verse, I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them my enemies. And then verse 23, search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. So it's almost like he wrote that and then was like immediately convicted and was like, oh, wow, God, I need you to search me. I need you to know my heart. I need you to test me and know my anxious thoughts. I need you to see if there's any offensive way in me, and I need you to lead me in the way of everlasting. Mic drop. Amazing. David, I can't wait to meet you, David, in heaven. Like, but anyways, that is what I wanted to close out this chapter with, is reading that chapter, because again, it just shows so beautifully how we should be talking about ourselves, how we should be thinking about ourselves, and how we should know that God is just the most amazing potter, and He has created you to be the most beautiful human being that deserves a place of peace. You deserve a place to retreat so that you can remember to pour into the lovely human God created you to be. Before you were anything else, before the world put anything on your shoulders, before you became any other identity, have a place where you can go to be the beautiful, lovely human that God has designed you to be. And you are lovely. You are so lovely, not because of anything that you do, but it's all because of God. You are lovely because of God and because of what Jesus has done for you. So rest in that, my friends, and just say it with me. I am lovely, and so is my home. I am lovely, and so is my home. Again, not because of anything you have done, but because of what Christ has done for you and because of what God has designed of you. It's so good. Anyways, I hope you have a beautiful and lovely and wonderful and fantastic day. Did you enjoy today's episode? What was your favorite part? I would love to hear about it on a Lovely Rhythms call, as well as discuss with you how you can create lasting rhythms that work for your body, your mind, your menstrual phase, and your love languages. You can book your Lovely Rhythms call right now at allthingslovely.co. And if you've just run out of note-taking space, I highly recommend you checking out the Lovely Home Planner while you're on the website. This undated planner can help you create rhythms that are founded on grace instead of guilt, and is filled with encouragement specifically designed by me for Christian homemakers. It would be such a gift if you left a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts, as well as leaving a 5-star rating on any of your podcast streaming platforms. And if you want to know a way that you can encourage another sister in Christ, go ahead and send them this episode so that they can begin their journey in feeling more grace and less guilt in their mind, life, and home. And lastly, I want to know you're listening. So take a screenshot, upload it to your Instagram story, and tag us at Lovely Home Podcast. Know that you are lovely, and so is your home, because of what Christ has done for you. And I look forward to talking to you again next week on a Lovely Home Podcast. Goodbye!